Wow. Frankie Goes to Hollywood and Relax. And Holly's with me from the band. Holly, you did that video only a couple of days ago. Why was it necessary?
Well, we had to do another one, a so-called clean one, because the last one we did was, can we say banned or excluded from use on television? I don't really know which one it was.
What about the pressures you're under at the moment with everybody talking about you, writing about you, and all this problems with your record and the video? How are you coping with it?
Well, you know, I am coping with it. I'm having a good time, really, because I'm doing what I want to do, except for the ban is not a good thing. I think for our first single, it's not a good thing to happen because it's kind of like a little black mark against us, almost. Well, that's what it feels like.
Is your style of music, I mean, I would sum it up as being sort of camp rock or glam rock. Is that the way you see a music?
I don't think it's particularly camp or glam. And I don't think it's rock either. I think it's much more closely related to kind of New York disco or New York funk. And, for example, Grandmaster Flash, but it's something that is kind of English, and we can do it as good as those boys. It's kind of that attitude.
Nick?
This is Dave Atke from Radio 1. Dave, whose decision was it to stop playing the Frankie Goes to Hollywood record?
Well, normally Radio 1 doesn't actually ban a record. It's up to the individual producers who have a responsibility to their audience to make the decision as to whether they play a record or not for whatever reason. Now, the record came into me, and I found the lyrics objectionable, and I felt that the record could offend a majority of our listening audience, so I made the decision not to play it. When the record originally came in, it was in a promotional copy, which was in a white cover. The actual copy that went to the shops had, in a picture bag, had the lyrics printed on it, and I think that just confirmed my original opinion about the record. And when I saw the video, I thought that that was tasteless and rather nasty.
Can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Why on earth did we get Top of the Pops and 92 airplays on Radio 1, and then all of a sudden it was banned? You know, I'm quite outraged by the way I've kind of almost been slandered and said, you know, I think disgusting lyrics, which only someone with the mind of a sewer could see them as obscene. That's what I think personally.
Well, I don't think there's any other interpretation you can possibly put on those lyrics.
Well,
I mean,
what
it is a description of a sexual act.
Relax, don't do it. Where
Until
is
you
the
want to
sexual
come.
act? Well, come on, explain further.
I don't think I need
I
to.
don't think we'd better get into those murky ones. Dave, given that the commercial stations are still playing this record, what right has Radio 1 to decide what the punters should or shouldn't hear?
Well, we have a responsibility, as I said earlier, the producers have a responsibility to their listening audience, and that's why some of them initially played it and are now not playing it. It came to a point where any company, any corporate body, has to make a corporate decision as to whether something like this should be played or not, and the controller of Radio 1 decided that it shouldn't be played.
What effect do you think having it dropped from the Radio 1 playlists will have on this record?
It'll go to #1 on Tuesday, I should think.
If it's allowed to. I think it would have gone to #1 last week, so I'm not sure whether it will now, because it is adverse publicity that you're giving us here.
But the point is that the record is a jolly good record. I mean, the track is fantastic. It's just the lyric. I mean, I think you would have had a hit record, and you could have had a #2 as it is now, or a #1 with
The
different
people
lyrics.
out there aren't complaining. I don't think Top of the Pops got one complaint after that was shown, and that is a children's programme.
Holly, what happens next? Presuming your record goes to #1 or sticks at #2, what are you going to do next?
Well, there should be a new single out sometime February, March. It deals with morality, actually, where there's an angel on one side
Complete
and a
contrast.
devil on the other. That's what it's about.
You believe in entertaining, don't you?
Totally. Well, that's what we're here for.
Are you out to shock?
I'm not out to shock people, no, but I think, well, the whole song, as far as I'm concerned, is about motivation and a positive force and going forward and not kind of hiding behind things and not kind of letting people be entertained, because they are buying it out there and you're not letting them hear it, which I think is a bad thing.
Well, they saw it just earlier on this
Truly.
show. Thanks to Dave for coming in. Thanks to you, Holly. And now for some more music.